Hello, everyone. Welcome to BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. We're here today with Coach Caren Fern, all the way from Toronto, Canada. She's in the house, and we're excited because she's about to change our minds about our money. Woo! Coach, we are so glad to have you in the building. You know we love you. We're sending love your way. And we know that you're a busy woman, so we're going to get this party started. What do you have for us today?
Today, we're gonna actually finish up this month talking about the L-shaped theory, life in a nutshell.
Oh,
This is
okay.
that's my theory, guys. This is Coach Karen theory,
I love it.
the L-shaped theory. And what is it? It's life in a nutshell. That's what I'm calling it.
Okay.
It's shaped like an L because there's money, time, space to dream, and that sort of thing. It comes down, it happens, and once you have it going on, is this running that happened. Now nothing is smooth, but it's less bumpy because you've looked after those things. So I call it the L-shaped theory because it's less bumpy now that you've
Ah,
mastered and understand those things. So that's what we're talking about today.
okay.
So when you get a taste of what you do and what you love, you get into this theory and you feel good. I'm gonna give you a get going right into story time. There's a girl who was an accountant and she makes stickers now. And at first glance, you're like, accountant, she makes good money. Why would she gotta do stickers? It's so much more work. She could be at a desk. Yeah, but she might not want to sit there. So she
Mm.
understood the theory. So she was an accountant. That's what she thought she was going to be. It's not because it's boring she left, but she grew and she realized, hey, I got a husband, I got two kids. And when I'm an accountant and I go to work and I come back, even if I work from home, I'm stressed. I just want to decompress. And I
Hmm.
don't want to talk to my husband and I don't want the kids come running up on me.
Yeah.
So she decided what's going to make sense for her. And she likes stickers and she likes journals. And she's like, I'm going to research it and I'm going to make my own stickers. I love doing it. And this is what we talk about when you love something.
Mm-hmm.
You make the impossible possible. You start
Wow.
looking for ways to make this possible. And the first thing was research. Next was sitting down once you have, and guys, I don't care if you don't like math, basic math is necessary. Okay. Sit down
Mhm.
with the math, calculator, nothing fancy, just the columns drawn up saying, hey, this is what I want to do. This is how long it's going to take me because this is how I'm feeling and this is what's going on with me. And if
Mm.
we don't pause with me, I'm going to get a nervous breakdown. I'm going to can't do the job that's bringing in the extra money. And we're going to be farther back than if I start the sticker shop. So, hey, you got to
Okay.
get brave with yourself, right? If you got a spouse, and even if he's antsy, nasty, I'm just going to put everything out there because this is fact of life. You
Mm-hmm.
have to decide who you're going to be. And if most of us were grounded, but then we got lift off of that ground because somebody entered in our lives on false pretense or
Mm.
sometimes good intentions, but they didn't even know to themselves when pressure have arisen how to handle it. This is why it's so good when you meet somebody, you get to ask them these couple of questions. There's tons to ask, but these questions: how are you with money? How are you under pressure? And what do you do when it happens?
Mm. Okay.
Give them time to answer. And when you get the answer, say to them, are you lying to me or you?
Wow.
They're not gonna like it. Let me just right now, okay? But for the people who want to stay and grow with you, is gonna come back and let you know that they don't like it because, and they'll tell you why. You might not like that either, but it's okay because now you got place to work, you got things to do,
Mm-hmm.
and without getting any more deep in that, I'm going to talk about a girl story here now, a client of mine, and all she wanted to do was to stick her, and he said that wouldn't work, and she said, I will need a full year. Now, it doesn't matter if I make money in the year, but I need a full year. If you can't give me a year, we got to know what happened with us. Children or no children. I need a
Mm-hmm.
year. And she had to have that hard conversation. and use that theory. So they have to talk about money, they have to talk about the time she needs, and they have to talk about the space she's going to need to dream. And her space, all she could afford at the time was the library, her sister's place when it was empty, and
Mhm.
law. She even brought in his mom because her mom died. And she said she went and she spoke to her. She says, "This is what I want to do, Mom. It might be strange to you with all this education and but this makes me happy." And the mother-in-law said to her, "So you're happy with that?" She says, "Yeah." She says, "That's all I want to know. Because if you're happy, my son is going to be happy and the kids are going to be happy.
Kids gonna be happy. That's right.
So here's what me and my husband are going to do. We can't do a lot, but we can clean out the basement and you can come there and dream to your heart content."
Love it. How sweet was that?
You know? Because you don't know if you don't ask. Anyway, she went ahead and do that. And yeah, 2 years later, she's got a great sticker business.
Have you noticed, Coach, that most people who are successful entrepreneurs, nears because they got a chance to get away from the hustle and bustle and focus.
Yes.
Someone either sponsored them
Mhm.
or supported them in such a way
Yeah.
where they didn't have to be out grinding away or worrying about are the bills going to get paid.
And that's something sometimes we don't even want to talk about. Because when you tell people, they're like, "Well, I got to put food on the table." And I always ask them, it's not like you can't put food on the table and it's not a must. And things are expensive. I know all of this, and this is way before all of it. But right now, I know it's hard. But when
Mhm.
you're in the grind, it is hard to get to your dream. This is no joke. It's hard to get to your dream. It's hard when you don't have anybody in your corner. It's hard when you have a spouse who don't understand or want to understand. It's hard when you've got children that may have special needs. It's hard for
Mhm.
so many different levels of reasons. So that's why somebody and you might start at the same place, but they can rise so far above you. Not because you're not working as hard as them, but because they have these sponsorship, as Terry just mentioned. They have these people who's in their corner. That's a fact of life. And that's why you can't measure yourself to people, because you don't know what they have in their back pocket, side pocket, and shirt pocket that you don't have. Maybe you don't even have a pocket. So you can't go measure yourself with them.
Okay, well, let us pray for a pocket.
Right? Don't get frustrated. You're just not in their shoes. So that's a great scenario. Let me give you a scenario where that wasn't great, where nobody wanted to help. No husband was involved helping. He was around, but not helping. Now, I'm going to tell you something that it might feel hard to try, but not sometimes, you always have to get out your comfort zone. So even though her mother-in-law helped her, you might have to go ask a stranger to help you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And don't put them aside, guys. There's some really good strangers in this world. When I first started college at 29, I had a baby and an 8-year-old. And a stranger really stepped in and helped me.
Mm-hmm.
Every step of the way. Loretta was my guardian angel. I took my baby there, and she says, "Caren," I told her I'm studying. She says, let me take a load off. And this is the perks you get when somebody's good to you. She says, "When you got to study, don't pick her up too early. Let me just call me and say, Loretta, I got studying to do. I keep the baby for an extra 2 hours. And don't worry about the money. We'll figure that out." And the money was tight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you don't have the family to do it, but you get a stranger. Allow them into your heart. Don't matter how, even if your heart will beat up a lot, this new person was not in that beat up. They were not in that fight. They weren't there. They're new to you. Keep them as face value. Don't judge them because of the other people. Allow them in. Give them a chance. And you would surprise yourself, and they might surprise you.
You know, there is no substitute for family and friends.
They're there for you. And when so number two is when you get a taste of what you can do that lights you up, that makes you smile, that make you want to serve other people for free, there's no going back. You have gotten money, time, and space. Those are two big things. We always hear freedom, freedom, freedom. But let me break that freedom down for you. Money, time, and space to dream is the kind of freedom that everybody wants and some people do not get. Don't even know that they can get it. Let me just rephrase that. Don't even know they can get it. I give you another little tidbit of a story. When my friend and I had owned a daycare, we had a lady who came and asked us to watch her daughter twice a week. She can't pay for a full week. And my partner said, Karen, I don't think we want to do partial. I stepped out to the building and I said to her, let me understand why you need 2 days instead of 5. And she said, it's so simple. My daughter is an only child and I want her to have company. And number 2, I need some space for me because I have her 24/7. And I say to her, this is the price point. Here is what we can do for you. Get back to me and let me know. She said, I don't have to go away. I'm bringing her tomorrow. Thank you. Later on, I found out what I did for that woman. She was so grateful. You never know. I just talked about a stranger helping me, but you never know where you can help a stranger, where you can help another mom gain by being of assistance to them, how you can make them go forward. She was a banker and she was new to the country and she didn't have any friends or family. Excuse me, she was offered a job. She couldn't take it because she didn't know what she was going to do. And just me saying yes to 2 half days, she was able to go and apply for the job. She was able to get interviewed. She got the job. And then we gained a full-time client. And we needed space. We had space for, I think, 1 or 2 more kids.
You know, you never know what God will do for you when you start sharing what you need.
Mm-hmm.
I can remember, there was a young lady, she stayed in my house for almost 9 months. I never charged her anything. There are things people will do for you when they see you trying.
Yes. Yes. And so you have to get there. So if you're in this space right now, you don't have any money, you don't have any time. I'm going to talk to this right now before I go into the last one. And you don't have space to dream. I promise you, if you get up and try, if you get up and ask, if you get up and seek and knock on the doors, it will be open somewhere, somehow. Another tiny story. I used to volunteer at our public library, and they had a mom would come in there with a baby and a little one. And she just had the baby, and the little one wasn't ready yet for kindergarten. And it wasn't my volunteer shift, but I went there early with my children.
Oh, uh-huh.
And she was there, and I could see her wanting to get on that computer, afraid the baby's going to wake up, and she keep looking back and forth. And I went up to her. I said, how are you doing? She said, I'm all right. But I'm not really all right. I'm just frustrated. I got the baby, but when my maternity is up, I'm not going to be able to, I won't be going back to a job. And I need to be looking for a job right now. I just don't know what to do with myself. So I came out to the library. I said, well, here's the good news. You came to the library. And she goes, that's good news. I said, here's why there's good news. The little one is going to play with my kids. So you're going to get a break there. And if the baby start crying, I want you to come and find me in the household or the back office. And myself, Carol at the back, and another lady, we're mothers, and one of us will hold that baby or stroll it around the library so it could keep quiet. And she goes, I didn't know they do that service here. I said, they don't. But we're human beings and we're moms. And so when the baby started crying, I could see her eye just wild. She's like, didn't believe that we would take the baby. Eh? And Petra, my daughter, was like, Mom, I could push the baby outside. I mean, she had 2 or 3 hands waiting to take the baby. And we all said, everybody said it. What do you need? Mm-hmm. All because she came to the library. You got to go and seek. So whatever is happening to you right now, whatever is going on, trust me, no matter how hard the world feels or closed in it feels to you, there's people waiting to help you. They don't know either that they're waiting to help you. But if you present yourself, if you're there, if you show up, speak up, Be present. I promise you, you will get help. Genuine help. Nobody wanted anything from you, just genuine help. Every time I say this to somebody or I help somebody, they're always amazed that help is still out there, because the
Mm-hmm.
world wants you to believe that it's only bad people exist, and and everybody needs something. Yes, everybody does, but there's good people who will help you in the spur of a moment when they see the need. We saw was a stressed out young mom. We saw the kid couldn't be three, probably a little 2.5, and a baby.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I started the conversation, but everybody else lend a hand in there for a couple of hours.
Sure. We've all been there at some point, not necessarily in her predicament, but
Right.
in some kind of a predicament where we needed help.
So if you don't have the immediate, yes, you're gonna have to step out of your comfort zone to get there. And sometimes I would talk to somebody and say, "But how's that gonna make me money?" I said, "Here's the thing about money. It flows. It ebbs and flows. But when you're pent up inside and you're worried and you're stressed, no money is knocking through that door. Just let me tell you right now, it just escapes you. It ain't coming in. I want to get you relaxed. I want you to get you opened enough to receive what you're looking for. You can't say, I'm seeking, but you're not really seeking.
Mm.
I'm knocking, but my hands are up, but I'm not touching the door. Are you really knocking? Are you really asking? You got to do it. You got to actually do it. It's
Wow.
crazy. Somebody might be looking for a job and telling everybody online, I'm looking for a job and I can't get a job.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe if they had left their building and just walk and talk to people, they might have gotten a job. When I started my career job, I was looking for a babysitter. And I had a friend of mine, and she said, Karen, I'm Phil. I'm not taking anybody. She had a daycare at the time. And she said, but the lady downstairs desperately looking to do daycare. I said, it's a night position. She said, I promise you she will be interested. But you know what that lady did most of the day? She walked around asking people. She couldn't drive. She couldn't do the other things to get out there. And she would just ask neighbors or people, anybody's looking for somebody to watch their kids. That's about all I know to do. And I'm really good at it. So when I pop up and needed help, the first thing the girl did was like, I know somebody. And I tell you, within the time Pierce born, she had about 3 kids because she's been telling people and telling people. So anybody had overflow, send them to her.
Very nice. See, because eventually people are going to need your services. But
Mm-hmm.
if they don't know, and if you don't open your mouth and tell them you're available, mm-hmm.
And I know I was worried because it was a night. I had fluctuating shifts. I worked 12 hours for 4 days, off 3, work another 12 hours. So I needed somebody who able to handle the capacity, not only to do a baby, but to pick up my daughter. So she got 2 kids from me like immediately. And she
Mm-hmm.
was such a sweetheart. I had her for a whole year and a half.
Wow.
A
Nice.
sweetheart. I'm saying all of this to say so that you can see this is work. But if you're a business, you're gonna have to not only look at the traditional, but you're gonna have to look at other ways.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody you tell them what you're looking for, and you say to them, even if you don't know anybody, even if you don't need my services, do you know anybody that does need my services? And
Mm-hmm.
then when you get recommended, do a good job. This is the key.
Mm-hmm.
Do a good job. Do a fantastic job in whatever, whether it's a service or a product. Don't let the people down because you'll be right back where you were so
Mm-hmm.
fast. And now you're back into complaining land. But if you really want to thrive and do what you say you want to do and have money flow in, do a good job.
There
People
you
will
go.
recommend you. People come back to you. I haven't done a live on my personal page in a while. And I tell you, when I remember it was last year there when I got a client from doing lives, two clients, and literally said to me, I don't need to book a session. I just want to hop on. I want to sign up. Just send me the monies, send me an invoice. I hear you speak already. And those people never really was commenting or anything. They literally just said, I am ready.
You never know who's waiting.
You never know. You
You
just
never
never
know.
know. But
God is
when,
good.
go ahead, Terry.
I just said God is good. You never know who's waiting in the wings
You never
for
know.
what you have to offer
Hmm.
and what services you want to provide.
Exactly. And make sure, as Terry always say, it lights you up. You smile. You really, the work is not like the work isn't hard, but it becomes so easy because you're doing what you love. You're doing what
Mm,
makes you happy. You know the service you're providing is going to help the person to do the next thing they need to do. You don't have to be the end all be all. You don't have to do everything for the person. You just have to do the thing that you're doing. That's the other thing. Just do the thing you're doing. Be okay with
mm.
the thing that you're doing.
I love that. Do
Maybe
the
they only
thing
need,
you're doing.
yeah, maybe they just need you for a tiny bit of time and then they leave. And they might come back or they
Hmm.
might be okay. You be okay with that. Okay? Be okay with that. You feel excited. You get up now expecting more. And when you understand how your money is flowing and the time you need, you will gradually, or at least you're supposed to, continue to find time to dream. Dreaming don't stop when you achieve it. There's other things to dream about. There's other space you need. Quiet time. I telling a friend the other day, she was saying she's so busy. I said, so you're not finding the 15, 20 minutes to think. Like I pencil in thinking time. Like I literally have a list, and in the list talk about rest and thinking time. Sometimes I'm thinking about nothing, but I just sit there for 15 minutes. And a thought might come, an idea, and I just let it flow. I let it come in, I let it develop itself. Sometimes it turns into nothing. Sometimes turns into something. Sometimes I might scribble a line or so, but I don't get too involved writing and no, because it's my thinking time. If something really hitting me and it's over and over, then I'll go write it down, the sentence. But I get back there, Terry, and I sit down and I just allow the thoughts to flow.
That is beautiful. I used to schedule dream time. I used to have three buttons on my computer,
Mhm.
a yellow one, a red one, and a green one. And if the
Nice.
thought wasn't any good, I just pressed the red one. Just like a
Yeah,
like a
I like
stoplight.
it.
Yep, yep. And
Yeah.
I had to put that green button up there to give myself permission to dream again
Yes.
because so many things had happened in my life, and I had stopped dreaming.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when I would come in the morning to my job, I would
Yeah.
press that dream button. It's like, don't forget to dream today.
Yes. It's
And
such an important part of our lives. It's such an important part.
yes, it was part of my planning
I like it.
was to dream. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So important because it gets you to the next level and the next level and the next level. You got to keep dreaming. You got to keep moving towards where you want to be. You got to keep doing the things. And even though while that's happening, I know the most everybody comes at me, but kind you don't understand what's happening here. There's this triangle of things that's happening. I tell people, and you feel like it's closing in on you. Try to keep the triangle as wide as possible. Keep the angles right there and don't let it get too close to you because you don't want it seeping and just take away all the goodness that's going on. It happens whether you're a millionaire, a billionaire, broke as ever, broke as a joke. What's his name like to say? It doesn't matter. It doesn't stop happening to you. There are broke millionaires. There are drunkards who is, there's people who having all kind of things happen to them while they have money,
Hmm.
while
Yes,
their life look good to you on the outside, don't know what's happening inside. So watch where you're at, cultivate and dream into what it is you want, you love to do, you're excited about, you want to share it to somebody. You want to be paid for it because we're talking business here. But first, get yourself grounded. That's why I insist on people looking after themselves. I feel it above all, I really help people find themselves. I help them find that lost part of them that has lift up from the ground. They're not grounded anymore. Maybe sometimes they just need to go outside and run in the grass, but they need that grounding. They need to find out again who they are. Sometimes after us women having kids, or maybe we came out of a relationship, we forgot who we are. We forgot who we used to love to do. I was talking to somebody again the other day, a client, and she says, I just forget who I was. Like I brought up something and it just brought about a wonderful memory for her. And I said, lean into that more. Like lean into that more because you need some of that, you know. I was talking to a friend again at a time and we were talking about Sunday afternoons. It don't exist anymore, but they had this radio station would play back in the day music and I would put it on and me and my mom would just enjoy it for about an hour or two. And it just allowed her to go back into those days, think about wonderful times. We just go back down memory lane and just enjoy that 1 to 2 hour. I'm cooking dinner and we chit chatting and the music playing in the background.
I love it, Coach. Coach, I just want you to summarize for us real quick
Mm.
what the 3 points are.
Yeah. So today we covered the L-shaped theory, Coach Caren theory, and what it means is a life in a nutshell, where we're talking about money, time, and space to dream.
So,
Really.
so beautiful. Guys, we want to remind you that it's okay to make money in your business. So if you're looking to book an appointment with Coach Caren, I'm going to put up her um, contact information. Of course, I'm hearing from my grandson right now.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. And if you want to set up a meeting, this is also her course that she offers. You'd want to take advantage of that. We want to remind you guys that we look forward to being here with you every uh, week. And that if you're looking to become a part of Biz Chicks, you can text Biz to 33777,
7-7.
or you can go to bizchicks.net.
Mhm.
It's just getting louder and
I
louder.
know, right? We're living life. We're living life.
Oh my
It's
gosh. With that, we want to remind you, come on over. Tomorrow we'll be talking about happy, healthy habits with Robin Shimizu and
Mhm.
friends. Thank you again, Coach, for all you do. Bye bye, everyone.